Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? my my morning is better than yesterday morning. Of course, everything is probably going to be better than yesterday morning. So right after the show, right after yesterday morning, my lovely wife, I'm bringing her like second, third cup of coffee, something like that, and she's in the bathroom, I guess, putting on her makeup or face wash or something. She looks up, she sees a spot on the ceiling, and she's like, "That's water damage." I was like, "Oh, nice." So she asked me, nicely. He was like, "I know you just finished up and everything, but can you look at that at some point, and sort of figure out where the leak is coming from because we've got more water coming on Friday." I was like, "Yeah, it's reasonable." So I break out all the flashlight and drop the the ladder down to the attic, and I go up and take the flashlight and I shine. Oh, there it is. It's a spot where faulty workmanship or whatever. There's just a spot where the water's leaking onto a board, which in turn is leaking onto the ceiling. And so, she goes about looking to see, hey, I'll just contact insurance and see what it costs, what our deductible is, because we've haven't filed a claim since we've been married. I don't think we've ever filed an insurance claim. Maybe once at our old house, but that was because a branch fell through the roof, or something of that sort. There was something weird why we did. Um, so it's been a while. She doesn't know what the deductible is, so she's going to contact them, find out deductible, and so she gets on the phone with them, and I went about my morning, sort of, you know, fixing things and just doing worky work stuff. And so she she comes down and tells me, the information. It's $1,000 deductible that, um, we would basically have to use our own contractor or whatever, but they would send an adjuster out, or they would be in touch with us within the next 3 days. Not a big deal. Um, and she's turning to walk away. She looks down and she goes, "Did you spill some water?" I was like, "No, I didn't spill any water." And she I was like, "God, I hope," I'm thinking one of the dogs like peed on the floor. I'm just like, "Oh, great," because sometimes they get a little freaked out by the rain, which isn't a big deal. We got a steam cleaner. We can just, clean it up pretty easily and pretty quick. It's one of those cheap Bissels or whatever. So she goes, I don't think that is, because it doesn't look, yellow or anything. She grabs like a little bit of toilet paper and sort of dabs on it, and it comes up clear. And she's like, "That's definitely not dog urine." And she sort of waves it in front of her nose, and she's like, "Yeah, that's," and then realizes that there's another spot, and she's looking up like, where in the hell is the what would it be coming, just because she was used to looking up to see where the drip is. And I start, pressing on the carpet. And as I'm pressing on the carpet, it's, soaking the water up, because I guess all the water's in the pad. And so, ended up moving a filing cabinet and a bunch of, like, uh, bass amp and stuff like that out of the way. As you'll see, let's see, right back there, there's no amp there. That's why, because I wanted to make sure that if that water like soaked up into the carpet, it wouldn't get my really cheap, you know, inexpensive Music Man bass cabinet all soaking wet. Um, and so broke out the shop vac, because it'll suck up water. It's about, you know it can hold about, you know this is a small one. It can hold up about 5 gallons or whatever. Um, or not 5 gallons, but a gallon. So I did that and started sucking up water and got up, I don't know, about 10 gallons of water out of the carpet. And it's still, even this morning I got up and sucked another gallon out of the carpet. So yes, I'm sucking water off my floor. And it's right here in my office, which is even funnier. Um, and so we've got an adjuster that's coming out Wednesday, and or next Tuesday. Will be coming out next Tuesday. And in the meantime, this weekend I'll be like gutting out my entire office. Well, not the entire office, but a good portion of my office. Um, because it also appears that right below my desk, where they've done some other work, I guess there was some flooding issues or water intrusion issues before. It looks like it wasn't completely resolved or something. So not a big deal. It's hilarious. I mean, if you think about it, it's hilarious. I'm like, well, this is the price of home ownership. You get these kind of wonderful things happening, but I I'm it's sort of a good thing in a way, because one, we'll end up replacing the carpet in this room. We we we've got a contractor coming out that did some work on our sunroom. He's the one that actually had come out and framed the thing out and put the windows in. I finished out the rest of the room, like did all of the finishing touches as far as the sheetrock and floor and stuff like that. But he did, the good portion of the framework. Um, and they had also discovered a some termite damage that was old. It was, you know, and we contacted termite company. They came out. They basically figured out how much it was going to cost and got it replaced, which wasn't, super expensive. Um, it was just they had to replace a header. Just I think maybe like $2,000 or $3,000 or something like that. It was not this highly expensive thing, and it didn't cost us anything because termite shit. We had it bonded, so no biggie. Um, so with this, they'll probably have to tear out 3 walls in this room to get to figure out where the water is actually coming from. And I may end up with getting some extra captured space in here. We'll see. Depends on what they find. And so this room may end up getting larger than what it currently is. And get a new floor in here. We'll probably do a tile floor. Just why not? Why not have a tile floor in here? The carpeting is nice and it cuts down on sound, but it can also be a little bit aggravating. As far as it's you know, much easier to clean with a tile. You don't have to worry about if a dog has an accident. Trying to get it out of the carpet. And also, whenever water puddles up, it'll puddle up in a different area. And then also put a pocket door in here, which will be really nice. It'll sort of, because I don't have any doors in this room at all. And sometimes the wife will be, you know, working out or whatever, and you can hear in the background. At least I can. And sometimes she'll hear me whenever I'm online and stuff. So probably get a nice little pocket door in here. And depending on how much room we capture, how much space we capture in here, I may move my desk around to get in a little bit of a better spot. This is like a really weird spot for me to set. Like like people come in behind me and scare the shit out of me all the time. My wife does. Well, and the dogs. So, and then maybe I can have like a nice little dog bed down here. I can show all the pups the wonderful, you know, show them up on the cam, have them all set up, and I'll have to turn it off whenever they start, going into their prison sex mode. It's always interesting. Yes, they have prison sex. Is weird, but it's good to see you, Rabbit, this morning, and Farrell. You guys, I hope you're doing wonderful this morning. My day is like I said, it's good. It's good. It's a good morning. I had searching around on the internet. And I'm almost positive that I saw that that Joe had showed something about this the other day, and I thought it was pretty damn funny. So here you go. this is this is the in that Hebrew synagogue where they're digging tunnels underneath, and I guess they came in to fill these with cement. Wow, just seems weird that you would do this, but this building looks pretty damn rough. I mean, look, this is a bathroom. Now you can tell that this is a bathroom. They've got what are they tunneling for? The Hebrews, they dug too deep. They have unleashed something from the depths. I mean, this is insane. I kept expecting them to like find bodies or something. I mean, what are they digging up down here? So weird. I don't know all the details on it. I just know that it was pretty weird. Mm, so there you go. What are you doing up so early? I get up this early every morning, Hal. Every morning I am up this early. I swear. Every morning I get up this early. I just decided to start doing live streams. Mm. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We got I mean maybe they're digging tunnels to, get to New York. I don't know. I don't maybe the tunnels are so they can transport illegal aliens. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, they're like deleting people in Ecuador, which is weird. Like why does that matter in the US to us? Well, because the Ecuadorians will end up, sending their peoples up this way and move them right on into the US. Um, it happens. It's so the today uh today of course is trending SEAL Team 6, which mm, this is a hard one to understand. And I'm sure you'll hear about this all in the news at some point in time. And well, let's get it. Let's put this into perspective. What this whole SEAL Team 6 bullshit is about. It's. I'll just share this right here because this will make a little bit more sense whenever you see it. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is what they're referring to whenever you hear all this SEAL Team 6. Okay, so this has to do with here let me stop that for a second because we'll put it into better context. Let's see, and this right here. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. All right. So let's put it into perspective. We got who's Nathan Wade, Trump Georgia case, special prosecutor and DA Fannie Willis alleged relationship scandal. Explain. Mhm. Nathan Wade, Georgia lawyer, is accused of engaging in inappropriate romantic relationship with Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis while working as a special prosecutor in the 2020 election case filed against former President Trump and his associates. These allegations were made by Michael Roman. So Michael Roman, which is a co-defendant in this Georgia racketeering, the RICO case against Donald Trump. All right. So you've heard about this case. Still up, usually work all night, but at 7 a.m. every morning I make breakfast for the Sal. Oh, that's awesome, dude. It's awesome. We love that. I mean, like I said, I make coffee for my wife in the morning and take her a cup of coffee. Speaking of which, I may actually go grab another cup and force you guys to watch my intro again. I'll do that in a little bit. Um, so Michael Roman, that's what I'm bringing up here is what Michael Roman, which is this co-defendant, brought up against um, this Fannie Willis, which is the DA that's did the special hired this special prosecutor. So she hired him. I'll draw a little picture. So she right here hired him over here to like go after Trump. It was, that's what she did. She went after Trump. So you got that, huh? Anyhow, so whenever she went after Trump, so this is what he talked about. By seeing the revelation just announced in Georgia's great state of Georgia, that Fulton County DA Fannie Willis, who criminally indicted your favorite president, me, and many other political people patriots, hired an exorbitantly paid romantic partner. Okay, so here's what I ended up bringing up, and that was what I was presenting was that particular case. Um, now I'll share that back up because it is very important. There we go. All right, so this right here says it basically makes all these allegations. You don't get into page 5, and this is basically just a summary of what's going on. So, open records request to Fulton County reveal that district attorney did not obtain county approval to appoint the special prosecutor, Mr. Wade. Why would the district attorney not obtain this approval prior to appointing the special prosecutor? Special prosecutor has admitted his oath was not filed prior to his work on the case. Why would the special prosecutor not file it, just file the oath, a simple administrative task for a lawyer? The special prosecutor is seeking a divorce in Cobb County and sought successfully to seal those records. So they had the records sealed of his divorce, hiding them from public view. Why would a private citizen, such as special prosecutor, shield filings related to his income and spending from public view? While the filings in the divorce case are sealed by the court order, the legality of which is open to question. Well, that's damn it. Give me just a second. I got a booger. And I don't want to be showing me picking my nose on the screen like Fauci did, eating his boogers. This is hilarious, isn't it? The legality of which open question. Information obtained outside of court filings indicates that the DA and special prosecutor have traveled personally together to such places as Napa Valley, Florida, and the Caribbean, and special prosecutor has purchased tickets for both of them to travel on both the Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Traveling together to such places as Washington, D.C. or New York City might make sense for work purposes in light of other pending litigation, but what purpose could only be served by travel to this traditional vacation destination? The DA and special prosecutor have been seen in private together in and about Atlanta and believed to have cohabitated in some form or fashion at a location owned by neither of them, like a hotel room kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Sources close to both a special prosecutor and district attorney have confirmed that they had an ongoing personal relationship during the pendency of these divorce proceedings. According to these sources, the personal relationship between the DA and the special prosecutor began before the prosecution was initiated and before the DA appointed the special prosecutor. Now this gets into start questioning things. Is it wrong? Hell, I don't know. Is it ethical? Hell, I don't know. Do I care? Not really. But they in this court case, they seem to be putting up a whole bunch of information. So basically, they're saying the special prosecutor has lack of experience in this type of felony, would not be qualified under Fulton County standards to be appointed to represent any defendant in a case given the complexity of the charges. If the special prosecutor is not qualified to defend this case under Fulton County standards, then how is he qualified to prosecute the case? Because he still has a bar license. Randomness, a woman with there you go. Randomness, a woman with high body count is like her sitting on a porcupine with dementia. The porcupines forgot about her, but their stuff is still in her. That's funny. Since being appointed as special prosecutor, the special prosecutor has been paid an estimated of almost $1 million in legal fees. Of course, additional fees would be expected when private counsel is hired, but that would assume that they are not in a relationship with the DA and they were qualified to do the work they were hired to do. The special prosecutor's fees have been lucrative in comparison by any reasonable measure. The DA's yearly salary, included in the state and county supplements, is $198,266.66. It's very specific to know what their yearly salary is, including supplements. And the total annual budget for the DA's office was, just in case you're wondering, that is probably close to being correct, $31 million. $541,968,000. The DA lobbied for additional money from Fulton County to hire lawyers and staff to clear the backlog after COVID. Why didn't she use that money to hire qualified in-house staff to try this case? Why did she instead use that money to retain a special prosecutor? Well, that's the question. So why is it important? The DA's failure to obtain the required approval to appoint the special prosecutor prior to him obtaining indictments against Roman renders blah, 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 special prosecutor. So basically, they're just trying to get it dismissed. And, this makes sense. Why wouldn't you do this? Try to get someone dismissed from a case, because if you can get them dismissed from the case, then it just makes it a lot easier for them to spend more time spinning their wheels trying to get someone new to come in. It's basically a big nothing burger. Politically, it's expedient, and they're doing this to try to get them pulled off. Okay, and because the longer that they can derail that case, the longer that it takes to do it, the more costly it becomes for Fulton County to do something. So what happens after this, and this is pretty much in the same thing, it's sort of what sent me down that rabbit hole, and why SEAL Team 6 is trending. Okay, is this right here, the immunity fight in DC that could derail the Fulton County case. All right. as reported by the AJC, high stakes court battling out in DC this week could impact the timing of the election interference case against Donald Trump in Fulton County, or even decide whether the state's prosecution of the former president can go forward. Judges on the U.S. Court of Appeals in D.C. will hear arguments on Tuesday about whether Trump is immune from prosecution for any acts he undertook while commander-in-chief. Okay, so this is where it starts being brought up in his current court case that's happening in D.C. And if you're asking me, no, I don't have those documents, because I do not have the time to search it out. I mean, if you want to search it out, feel free. This is just a breakdown, and I'm probably wrong. So the question strikes the heart. At Justice Department, Special Counsel Jack Smith's blockbuster case against why do they call it blockbuster case? I don't think he's breaking any barriers. Whom a federal grand jury charged in August for allegedly engaging in 3 conspiracies to overturn the results of the 2020 election. But it could also have major implications in Fulton, where many of the events in District County Fannie's election interference case could also unfold while Trump was still in office. Trump's top Atlanta attorney said at the hearing last month that he planned to introduce similar immunity motion in Fulton ahead of January 8th. So this is where it comes in, is they're trying to get this immunity motion in, basically saying that a president is immune to prosecution unless, and here's what their point is, unless he is impeached, and this is not just one part of it, unless he is impeached and convicted. So what it means is he would have to be impeached, which he was, and convicted, which he was not. And that's while he's still while he's still an acting president, or for things that he did while he was an acting president, which they've never been able to make a case. They've never been able to get that passed, and why they so desperately want to get rid of Democrats, and why they'll keep pushing on this and harping on it and going after him. Doesn't mean that they'll get it, but it's a way of keeping him off the ballot, and a way that he can never run again for any sort of elected position. So that's the goal, is to get him off the ballot. Because as much as Nikki Haley, you bitch, you like this bullshit of, who am I voting for in Fox News, with your head so far up the Democrat Party's ass that you keep, telling everybody that Nikki Haley is the front runner, which she is not. By any means stretch of the imagination. If she's leading Joe Biden, then that means that Trump is Biden beat, like, hands down 110%. So as much as Fox News is trying to push this bullshit, does not necessarily mean that it's true. Not do I want to see Trump as president? I think he was better than what we currently have. Do I think he's the best option out there? I don't know. Bring me someone better. That's all I got to say about it. Bring me someone better. If you can bring me someone better, I'll be happy to vote for him. But that's up to the Republican Party, not me. Do I have an idea who do better? No, I know I couldn't do much better. It's politics. It's bullshit. It's a big fucking shady goddamn game. First, an unexpected appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court significantly delayed the start of Smith's March 4th trial in Washington, which could in turn push back the timeline for trials in Fulton, New York, and Florida, where Trump has been indicted. Being indicted does not mean that he has been found guilty. It just means that a grand jury has indicted him. Well, that's really all they're after. Is get an indictment. People automatically think that they're guilty against whatever the charges are being brought against them. Does it mean that they are? No, they have to be convicted of it, which I doubt that he will be. They're just trying to basically go after someone's pockets. That's it. Right now, at this point, that's what it is. Not only that, if the federal courts determine that the presidents are absolute immune from prosecution for acts committed while in office, the case against Donald Trump in Georgia collapses. And that's basically what they're talking about. So they're sort of held on this. And this is why SEAL Team 6 is so important, what they're talking about. Because what his defense is arguing, if a president sends in SEAL Team 6 and kills a political rival, being not your not not like going in and going after Biden, but going after someone in another country, such as a certain guy that might have been made fun of for quite some time on the internet until SEAL Team 6 went and deleted him. And we all know who that was, and we all know who the president was that did that. All right. And what their point is, if a president can be found guilty of it for acts committed for deleting somebody, then that would mean that they could go after a former president and his wife, Michael. They could do that. And that's what their argument is, okay, well, you want to play this game. Here is a situation that we know has already happened. A political rival has been killed for political expedience. What say you? So are we going to hold every single president guilty for every single act that is committed while they're president in the process of doing business? If that's the case, then no president is immune, and we will be, you'll be going after every single president that is still alive for what can be perceived as a crime, or things that your normal everyday civilian, if I went over to another country and deleted somebody, I would be thrown in prison for a long time and probably be removed from doing such ever again. So, and that's what they're talking about is while he was president, if and like I said, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's bullshit. Trump's lawyers asserted they're trying to ensure election integrity. Trump's action leading up to January 6th were at the heart of his official duties. So that's basically why he's saying he has absolute immunity from prosecution in their court filing. Judgment in cases impeachments shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy an office of honor. And that's where it boils down to. So he has not been impeached, one. He has not been convicted. That's two, for those things. And also, on top of that, what they're saying is then if he had been impeached and convicted for a protest in a certain city for a certain building, then that would be a different tale. Then, of course, he would be found guilty for it, and they could easily go after him. And but the only but only to the extent that he would be removed from office and he would never be able to hold one of those offices again. That he wouldn't, they couldn't trust or profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, and judgment and punishment according to law. So that's basically what it is. Because the clause only says a person convicted of impeachment can later be prosecuted, the clause presupposes that a president who is not convicted may be subject to criminal prosecution. In 2021, Trump was impeached by the House for incitement of insurrection, but the Senate's 53-43 vote in favor fell short of the 2/3 majority needed for the conviction. And just like his lawyer said, President Trump was acquitted of these charges after the trial in the Senate, and he thus remains immune from prosecution. So there's their argument. And so, whatever immunity sitting president may enjoy, the United States has only one chief executive at a time, and that position does not confer a lifelong get out of jail free pass, which is correct. So, Chuckton, or an Obama appointee, and so there's where Obama comes in, collapses under the application of common sense. But it doesn't. Trump seems to suggest in the scenario in which a former president could be utterly accountable for the crimes is simply the price we pay for separation of powers. This cannot be the clause's meaning, but it is. Until somebody weighs in on it, it's totally what it is. Justice Department is arguing that while the president plans to play a vital role in the judicial system, so does the principle of accountability for criminal acts, particularly those that strike at the heart of democratic process. That's a bullshit thing. Democratic process is made up. Only democratic process there is there's two wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner. That's what the democratic process is. This falls in with Trump's plan to delay until he wins the election. Then he can end the federal prosecutions. Okay. So what's your point? But Eisen said the ruling by the D.C. Special Appeals Court rejecting Trump's immunity claims would be a clear message to the prosecutors, the judge, and the justice system in Georgia and any other state that they can proceed full speed ahead. So there need be nothing that slows down the Georgia pretrial preparations. So how does all of this fit in? It doesn't. It's news. It's interesting. That's all that it is. It's news. It's interesting. Personally, I think that they should stop because I think it's ridiculous. And every time that they continue on, it just makes it more popular. It makes it more interesting. People want more whenever they see this. I mean, is it funny? Yeah, I find it damn hilarious. But as I said, you're going to see all of this stuff be brought in by CNN and Fox and all of these other little groups, and they're going to be screaming and hollering about, oh my gosh, Trump could go after SEAL Team 6 to assassinate. Oh, let me see. They'll say that Biden could totally go after Trump to have him assassinated, and that's not what the point is. So, how is everybody doing this morning? It's good to see you, Atheist Dad. It's always a pleasure to have you here. It really is. It really is. Sorry if I went off on a little bit of a tangent, but sometimes you just have to do that. I don't know if you saw this, but share screen. Let me see. Is it here? I think that's it. Yeah. So check it out. Farrell, finish this one up. If you can read this, knacks are gone. It's time to go the hell home. Gotta love this. I mean, come on. You gotta admit, that's pretty damn ingenious. That Farrell does this whenever she's just wanting something to do. Not all the time, but quite often. So, what other information do we have that's so relevant? Because we have nothing is completely done. Uh, let's look at the top news today and see how I come completely prepared. So another deadly winter storm to unleash more snow because global warming. Yeah, because global warming. And let's see, there was another one. You're doing a Coke one next weekend. Really? I love it. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm pretty sure that's what this is right here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Present share screen. Oh, we'll share this tab instead. There we go. Add to stage. There we go. Let's make sure we don't have any audio. So as you can see, all of this damage right here, brought to you by the CNN, is Grand Lagoon. This is on January 9th. The destruction and devastation caused by tornadoes that ripped across Florida in the Panhandle. So our thoughts and well, I figured that much. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they upended these little shotgun houses, destroyed people's lives, livelihoods. Not a bad time to buy some property now in the Panhandle, I guess. I mean, because who's going to want to clean this up? Look, the barbells are still there. So this right here is the nastiness that people are running into in all these little storms. Millions under severe storm and flood warnings. So massive winter storm, North Dakota, Campus, Colorado, Santa Fe, New Mexico, which I lived in Hobbs, New Mexico, which is south, much further south. Damn, that looks so much like Illinois, so bad. Um, it's no, it's Kansas Highway Patrol, Kansas possibly, yeah. I mean, it all looks the same. You get in the flatlands, that's what it looks like. Uh, it so you end up with all of these like horrible storms that are just insane. So widespread power outages amid freezing temperatures. This is why natural gas is so wonderful. Wow. Imagine that. Didn't they just say like not but a couple weeks ago? I'm pretty positive, and I mean maybe blanking on this, but I'm pretty sure it was not even a couple weeks ago. I think it was a couple months ago that they were saying natural gas is killing people because of global warming or climate change. They have to change the name every time that the weather changes. So you have to be aware of what your temperature changes are. And it's so much that I can't even remember. It changes so often. So widespread power outages. But yeah, if you lose power, you can still you can still fire up a fireplace, a gas fireplace, gas logs, whatever. They may not be the most the most heat ability, but you can still open up, your allow airflow, and things can keep much warmer. Not as warm, but those logs will heat up under certain circumstances and sort of keep you warm. And then you end up with you call it weather. Well, you call it weather. They call it making money, because I mean, how else are they going to make money? Fear makes money. So of course, more snow is on the way. Like I said, global warming sucks whenever you get tons of snow. I do remember back in the 70s. There's some people that are not old enough like Farrell to remember this stuff, because she was one of those 90s babies. Just kidding, I'm so bad. That that in the 70s. Now Rabbit would know this. In the 70s, it was global cooling was going to happen, because we punched a hole in the sky, and it was going to be, yeah, 77. Spirit of 77 was awesome. Um, the 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 that we punched a hole in the sky, or no, that one came later. I think it was that we've created all this cloud cover, and the sun won't warm us enough, and we'll have global cooling because of all the pollutants in the sky. That's what it was. It's all the smog, all the pollutants in the sky, and they like to show like all of like you know Los Angeles on a on a regular day. Ozone layer, no, ozone layer, it's like been totally destroyed. You can't repair it. It's unrepairable. There's still a gigantic hole. Like I said, you can't keep track of all the bullshit that they've talked about, for throughout the past, what, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 decades. They will constantly change because, the sky is falling. We're all going to die. We're, we just can't have, we just have to spend more money so people can fly planes to other countries to raise more money about something. Yeah, we're all because by the time that I am, no longer on this planet, it'll be back to global cooling. Probably within my lifetime, it'll be global cooling or something else. They'll be telling us that we need to stop eating the bugs because the bugs, um, helped you know helped feed the wildlife, through like, that whole, like, what do they call that chain again, where the slugs get eaten by the birds get eaten by the bigger birds get eaten by lions, and lions get, whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's the whole ecological thing that we're sort of a symbiont and we need each other to survive. I mean, cows eat, grass, and then upchuck and continue eating, upchuck and continue eating, upchuck, continue eating, processing it, which humans can't do, is the reason why we don't eat grass, because, well, we have no way of actually processing it. We can process some of it, but not like a cow can. And then, of course, the cow poop, you add that into soil, makes the soil nice and wonderful that you can, in turn, hey, birds aren't real. Birds are totally real, expert. I mean, I made Korean barbecue last night. It was so good. So good. And the night before that, I did chicken teriyaki, which was awesome also, using some snow peas, some broccoli, some onions. Yeah, did some really good stuff. But of course, the Midwest and Great Lakes, but threats remain for parts of the interior Northeast and New England. Blizzard conditions are expected to continue through Wednesday morning into the Northwest, bringing snow totals to several feet in higher elevations. It's so good to see, expert. I mean, ferals aren't real. It is really good to see you, expert. Um, I got to catch like the very end of trivia, and of course, Traveling Fools likes to just come in there and dominate that stuff. He is full of useful information. Me, I am a moron. I can't even remember like what that's called, where the the poor the poor gets eaten by the rich, something like that. Rabbits are real. Yes, be very fearful of rabbits. Oh, that sounds good. Make smoked sausage with potatoes last night and not making omelets with it. Yeah, that's really good. I did like a ham cheese omelet yesterday morning. See, I cooked at Waffle House at one point in time, so I know the trick to making omelets nice and fluffy, and how nice and airy, and yeah, I make kick ass omelets. Ah, but I've been doing it forever. I made some beef stew the other night, and it turned out awesome. yeah, it's wonderful. It's got you cook all your stew meat, which was part of what we got whenever we got like this quarter of a cow. So there's some stew meat in there. I'm gonna be doing some beef jerky later on too. That's gonna be really good. Not immediately. My wife wants to use it for like fajitas and stuff like that, but I am going to be making some beef jerky. Hero omelets are good too. Yeah, those are really good because it's got a mixture of lamb and um, I'm trying to think what all is in there because gyros are like multiple meats. But the take the beef stew, made that, and expert was asked about this just the other day. It was, what's Brunswick stew? Because I'm so worried about having it. Like, I don't want to like have this whole ruined thing. So what it is after you have smoked your meat, like man, that sounds dirty, but it's not. After you have like pulled pork, smoked meat, and you have like chicken, you smoked it, it's all but barbecued, and you have leftovers that are left over. You take that, you add some corn, some barbecue sauce, which I didn't know, and some stock, like chicken stock. Add that in there. Some cream corn. Try to think what else is in it. Celery is in there, so you're basically just making like you would a normal like chicken noodle soup kind of mixture, except you're adding barbecue sauce and the smoked meat. And there's still it's still up in the air where it was made. It was either Brunswick, Virginia, or Brunswick, Georgia. I want to say it was Brunswick, Georgia, but I won't deny that it could be from Virginia because I don't know. I wasn't there, but there's two different types of recipes that are done with it, but they fall into the same area. I stay away from the ones that have okra because I don't like okra. It's all slimy whenever you cook it like that. If you do okra like like deep fry okra, it's actually pretty damn tasty. That's because everything that you deep fry is tasty. A lot of deer burgers, chili, and everything. Absolutely. Yeah, see, that's one of my favorite. My wife and I's favorite is is having venison. Venison is really good. Makes really good stews too. Oh, good morning, young. Good to see you. Absolutely good to see you. Well, I also hope, well, 4 deaths have been reported across Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina. Storms wallop the states with fierce winds and rains. Yeah, so here in Georgia, we're supposed to get some more wind. I think it's supposed to come in on Friday. It's going to be much windier. So we'll see how this all plays out, and more rain on Friday, which is why my Friday is going to suck because I'll be pulling everything out of my space here and hopefully getting set up in another room. Um, it's really good seeing you. I think she did get some snow. Um, Snow levels will fall to 1,000 to 2,000 feet, and they're just talking about higher elevations. They're not saying you're supposed to get 1,000, 2,000 feet on Wednesday. Of course, if you read it like that, you would think that that's what they meant. Over 100 million people are under wind alerts from Mississippi to the southeast and up the east coast. Strong winds with gusts in excess of 55 miles per hour likely to cause numerous power outages. I would say if winds of excess of 50 miles per hour, I wouldn't call that a gust. I would call that a tornado. Heavy downpours fuel flood fears. Guys, you guys need to write better than your AI. Flash floods possible from Virginia through southern New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Well, why do you think the Jews were building all of those tunnels? Yeah, see, last week you got some rain, but it's all rainy now. I was thinking it was last week that you got snow, but I couldn't remember and I didn't want to overspeak. I love wet weather. That's funny. So, rain in major cities along the East Coast, including New York and Philadelphia, where rainfall of 2 to 4 inches is possible. Well, and then if you add like freezing weather, that makes it so much better because you end up with like frozen subway systems in New York. It's so cool. dangerous driving conditions in parts of New England and interior Northeast, but they're not, they're used to it. Tornado reports and damage left behind. It's all global warming, global warming. Of course, flights will be canceled. That's not uncommon. And then some of those are due to the grounding of 737 Max 9. So I don't know if you saw this, but so this was grounded after Alaska Airlines emergency landing, leading to travel delay and cancellations. So there you go. Why? Yeah, these people are idiots. So check this out. You see the little video right there, and I don't have the actual video for it, but there's them coming in for a landing, and a section of the plane is missing. How would you like that? Alaska Airlines. Oh, Rabbit. Thank you so much. My gosh. You know what that means. You know what that means whenever you get that coming in from the Rabbit. Thanks, Rabbit. You're awesome. And let's see. Now I've got to pull up and see who actually got those. So it looks like Feral Housewife was gifted a membership. Flatty was gifted a membership. Young was gifted a membership. Danielle, hello, wonderful Danielle, and Jamie, awesome. All some of my most favorite chatters. I know that not everybody can be here in the mornings because I do this very damn early. I do this very. That is not. Those birds don't exist, Young. Don't worry about the birds. They are absolutely fine. All of the best ladies. That's right. That is right. It's your birthday tomorrow and you're officially old. I would not consider 30 old. I would not consider 30 old at all. Not a damn bit. So this is let me see if I can go back and show you this here. Let's see. Rewind. Rewatch. There we go. So this just keep watching here. This is the 737 Max 9 jets. They're cushioned after this happened. As they're coming in for a landing, you see the big section of the plane missing. Yeah. So they also, a couple of phones were ripped out of these out of these planes. Poor birds. In Florida over Christmas, a bird took a chunk of your mom's salmon, and yeah, yeah, they come in really quick. Yeah, that looks like they got the door right there. That looks like the whole door came off. That really sucks. Could you imagine you're sitting there and you've got your door, you're sitting there at the emergency door seat, and all of a sudden the door comes off. Be wishing that you'd be happy that you were in your in the airplane. It was below altitude because you have that happen up at high altitude. That's gonna suck. Um and yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as they were coming in for a landing, a big chunk of it came ripping off. So they've grounded the 739 MAX aircraft. The incident has led to federal investigation. A number of airlines have grounded portions of their fleet for safety concerns, with snow battering parts of the Northeast and more on the way. Weather-related setbacks could also exacerbate the air travel holdups. Which, why are you traveling except to get to warmer places? I mean, that's what I would be doing. Turkish Airlines said 5 MAX 9 aircraft and its 440 plane fleet has told CNN is conducting precautionary examination. Uh, so yeah, that's all they're doing. They're just trying to make sure that um, government regulators to allowing Boeing Max 9 to allow to fly again. So somebody was talking about this not too long ago. I can't remember what exactly they were saying, but Boeing is not regulated by the FAA, from what I understand. Remember, fly again, like, here's the thing: if something like that happened, and I was sitting in that seat, by God, you're going to fly me for free everywhere I want to go, anytime I want to go. Your airline would be flying me for free. Serious. And I would totally do it. Flatty, do you know Sal? Of course. Doesn't know Sal. It is insane. Absolutely insane. That somebody lost their doors. He blew the doors off the neighborhood. Share screen and deadly winter storm to unleash more stuff. There, that's what we were after. All right. So, of course, we don't have the time for restoration because they can't get bucket trucks up there and the winds are still too high. So that's why they're losing power. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy announced a state of emergency in Jersey in preparation for uh, young. Be careful what you're asking. Be careful what you're asking. Urge residents to be vigilant. Don't underestimate this store. This could be a tough one for us. You'll never fly with them again. Well, did you ever fly with Alaska Airlines in the first place? I mean, that would be the question. Oh, you would never. You're saying I misread that. Sorry, I'm an idiot. But that's not uncommon. The system will dissipate by a week's end, but relief is still not sight for many across the eastern U.S. Other storm could follow on Friday and into the weekend, impacting many of the same areas. And if you didn't see it yesterday, the expert was showing. Yeah, well, of course, it was not the airline's fault. It's the if you were on the plane, you wouldn't want free flights from them at all. Yeah. this is this is not the airline's fault. Absolutely, it is not the airline's fault. It is Boeing's fault, but it is somewhat of the airlines because they should be able to put these planes through rigorous tests before they're up in the air, um, and so it sort of falls on both of them. And I mean, if I was on the plane, you wouldn't want free flights from them. Yeah, I understood that. I understood that. That's why I was saying be careful, young, what you're asking. But we make fun. We make fun. But Sal probably would. Sal would probably love that. Sal's good people. As the storm swept through the southeast with dangerous winds and saturated the ground in rain, authorities reported several deaths across Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina. A driver was found on a highway in Jonesboro, Georgia, Tuesday morning after a tree fell and crushed a vehicle's front windshield during severe weather. That's got to be a way to go. I would never want to ride in that car again. Thing still had a window sticker on it. Wolfram, oh my gosh, man, oh man, you guys are so kind, so absolutely So it looks like the expert, you were gifted a membership by Wolfram, Salty Dog, Food Fairy, and Nikki were all gifted memberships. It also looks like Kaiser Pineapple was gifted a membership. How awesome is that? That is pretty damn cool. I like it. I like it that you guys were gifted. Sal hates us big boobed ladies. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is for me, boobs are awesome. Um, do I like big boobs? Mm, it all depends on the person that has them. You know, it's really strange like that. Like the big boobs have to sort of work for the body. You know, me, I prefer the smaller breastages. They they're they're much more fun to me. Not saying that it can't be fun on some women for the large breastages. I'm going to shut up now because I'm just going to get myself in trouble for stealth grifting. You're good. Mm. Wolfram, and thank you for the gift of memberships. Yes. We thank you very much, Wolfram, for that. That is so very kind of you to do that. It really is. So, of course, you've got all of these weather issues that are going to happen every single year. We're going to end up, with nice weather, poor weather, storms, wildfires. You know, it gets cold, it gets hot. It just you are most welcome. And you know, if you find that in Georgia, for example, if you don't like the weather, well, you just wait for, a day, 5 minutes to a day, and it'll change. Like, we've got more rain coming in on Friday, but I've got the leak on the roof covered. And I'll be, moving stuff out of this particular room that I'm in. I'm actually working on Dave's print again for the second go around. The first one, it started getting some cracks and splits, and I don't like how it turned out, and it's disjointed in a weird way. So I'm printing a fresh one out, but I did get Farrell's legs printed, her feet. So I have Farrell's feet. Be right back. Some chore time. Well, I'll tell you what I can do is really super quick. I'm going to go grab myself some more coffee because I'm starting to get that urge for it. Starting to get that urge for some more coffee. So if you guys can hold for like a minute and 37 seconds, that's how long it'll take me to get my damn coffee. And you can watch the little intro again. You ready? See, it wasn't that quick. I even got through most of it right there. Wait, 2D printing Farrell's feet. No, 3D printing Farrell's feet. Oh, you got it. Got it. Starting at the feet. That's right. Hope he has a lot of printing material. That's funny. That's funny. I love it. No, there's I've also got some this thing that I want to do. It's an articulated arm. It looks really cool. It's got like big sections come off of the arm itself, and like stuff is exposed up underneath. It doesn't. It's not gross. It looks more artistic than anything. But I can't wait to get that one printed out. That one's gonna be a fun one. I've got. I've got this one that I need to mail out to Melissa Jane, which is really cool. I've got the fuck octopus, which will get mailed out to her, and this flying boomerang kind of thing. It's really weird. And then I also have Dave's that'll go out to him. Um, and of course, I need to get Farrell's address at some point in time, so you can laser some tumblers. Yeah, I'll have to get with Farrell, get her address. You can just send me your address to me in Discord, and that way I can get these mailed out to you. If it's like a PO box, that's cool. It'd probably be easier. I can get those. Yeah, I can get those mailed out to you. Should be able to by probably not today, but like within the next couple of days. I should be able to do that. Maybe even today. No, I don't know. We'll see. I might send it to you in a one of my Prusa boxes for that has the 3D printer stuff, because I've got all these extra boxes that I can pack stuff in. Those things are huge too. Those feet, they're enormous. I was surprised. I was surprised how big they are. David, David does. Your wait list scary? Well, of course. Dave's not scary. Dave's not scary. Never be worried about Dave. We got you. We got your back, Farrell. We've got your back. You know. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, that's pretty interesting. So looks like. Oh my gosh. Looks like Mo will be going on here at some point in time if she's not already on. You know what they say about big feet? Um, that they keep you upright so you don't fall over. Because like if you had little feet, you would just fall over. David is a little bit scary. No, no, he's scary smart, but no, he doesn't scare me. I think Dave's good people. He's always been good people. You know, always, always. I mean, even good people do bad things. But no, Dave's good people. Young's awesome. If you've ever had a conversation with her, Young doesn't like to talk to me except in chat. I would like to have you on sometime, Young. I think you're a very interesting person. At some point, big feet, big hands. We were shop vacuuming my basement yesterday. Did you let Chad in again? I think so. Um, yeah, I got, I got the most of the water swept up. I'll be doing that again. You interesting? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I find you very interesting. Like I would want to have a conversation with you like before, I brought you on, see what you would be comfortable with discussing. But I find you a very interesting person. Very interesting person. Why I know like bots. So P recommended it. Like it means to check all over your to check get my oh. They might have. Because I know Wolfram likes to, break out the shop vac for reasons. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So, of course, we've got more of this. The Houthis launched largest Red Sea drone and missile strike. Jeez. That's horrible. Neighbors frustrated. So this I've got to talk about because I used to live near PDK, which is pretty interesting. So, oh damn it! stage. There we go. So, right here, DeKalb County, Georgia's Norbit neighbors living near DeKalb Peachtree Import, also known as PDK, are frustrated over plans and new hangars. They believe more hangars will bring larger jets and leading to more emissions and noise pollutions. Okay, so here's the thing: these people are assholes, and I know because I used to live over by PDK. All right, all those houses over by PDK were built by, yeah, see, I know this whole area right here. There's actually a little Toyota shop that's right off this little street. Um, oh, let me pause this real quick. So the way that PDK is set up is it has a community surrounding it. Not a small community, but a pretty large community. They call it at there's let's see, there's Ashford Park that is on one side of it. Then you've got further down Claremont Road, you've got some there used to be just a bunch of businesses in the area. But in recent, I want to say within the past since was it 2018, like these developers have come in and started buying up the property. Okay. And they're building these apartments almost right on top of PDK. Like it backs up to it. Um, and if you live there, the noise of the jets you sort of get used to. I I joke not. You really get used to the sound coming in. Um, Nobody forced you to live next to an airport that's been there longer than those houses. So people are coming in and they're putting up these McMansions, and then they're getting angry whenever they move in there of the noise pollution coming out of PDK. PDK, because the size of its runway, it's limited on the size of planes that it can have land there. You're never going to find a 737 landing on PDK. There's just not enough runway for it. It just won't happen. And there's constantly people out there with their little dB meters to check the decibels of volume that's coming off of PDK. They've been fined before for breaking those. But it's a small airport, and it's got jets that come in and out of there, mostly private jets, because it's an easy and central location coming out of Buckhead, and you don't have to go all the way to like Hartsfield to fly in and out. So people choose to use PDK. If you move into a neighborhood and there's a freaking airport there, expect to have some noise. If you don't like having that noise, then don't move into that neighborhood. It's really simple. PDK pays a lot of money to that whole area for using that. They've got they've got stuff set up there to take care of any sort of fires. Yes, your house could be on a flight path like ours was. So we would hear jets come in on a regular basis, and you would hear them middle of the night, early in the morning, middle of the day. They would do air shows out of PDK, where actually there was someone that died not too long ago from doing some stunts, like drove it straight into the ground. It was horrible, horrible, horrible accident. Um, it happens. They just don't. It's limited on how many planes can come in and out. I say let the planes fly in and out of there 24/7. And of course, what it says here. He says more hangars will actually mean fewer flights because jets headquartered at PDK will no longer have to fly in to pick up a client and then fly back out to drop them off before flying out again to another airport where the plane is based. Make sense? So if approved, those two airplanes could could be house here at PDK in theory would reduce the extra level of flights. But neighbors like Larry Foster aren't buying it, seeing the addition of hangars as the start of future expansions at PDK to allow bigger jets. They're completely surrounded by neighborhoods. They can't make PDK any bigger. This is really the opening wedge, really in much larger expansion. Nope, can't do it. The county collects ad valorem taxes on the planes, headquarters at PDK, but money from leasing the property goes back to maintaining the airport. Neighbors say no amount of money should disrupt their quality of life, health, and home values. Okay, home values. So let's talk about this. Home values at PDK, around PDK, are $1 million homes. They'll always remain, because they built these McMansions, they'll always be $1 million homes, at least in the 700,000s. Always. But they're sitting on quarter acre lots, some of them half acres, but basically a quarter acre lot or less. The houses that are not McMansions are 3-bedroom bungalows. These things are tiny. I'll show you what the area looks like, so you sort of get an idea. Let me see. Ashford Park. So let's do a map here of Ashford Park, and I'll show you a little bit about what this area looks like, because it's if I'm not mistaken, they tried to turn it into part of and there's the 57th Fighter Group that's over there, and Far East Motors. That's the name of the place I was thinking of, Far East Motors. They're pretty damn cool. So where is it? Because I used to live in this area. It's actually where my lovely wife. Let's see. Let's go to Tobey Road, which is probably a perfect example. This is coming into the neighborhood. Comes right off of Claremont. You got what is it called? The waste of human space. I mean, where you can get all of these nice little what do you call it? Healthy stuff. So this here is right across from. See, PDK is right up over in this area. So PDK is over here. That's where PDK is, and then you have 57th Fighter Group that's over here. So that's all PDK in that area, and so all of this neighborhood is in this particular area. All of these are pretty damn recent. These are condos. And if you look back at what it used to look like, this would have been what it looked like in 2022. So, all right, here we go. 2008. That's about the time that I lived there. So in 2008, this is what the area looked like. All right. All these condos got put in there. And then you've got all of these McMansions. So this is 2018. All these McMansions got put in. All of these houses right here. Yeah, big, massive houses. As you can see, they're building more. But most of the houses, if you look, this is a perfect example, and we'll put this into perspective here. This house right here is $1 million home. This house right here is $1 million home. They built them for about 800,000. We're selling them for in the sixes, and then probably up to 800,000 if they held on to it. This home right here, that little home right there, that little piece of shit, is a 3-bedroom bungalow that costs. I mean, you could have picked it up in the 70s for about 50 grand, and then on into the 2000s. Yeah, danger windowless fan. This particular house you could have probably picked up for I don't know, 400,000, something like that, in around 2008. And so all of these houses around the same period of time looked like this whole neighborhood, for these little bitty tiny bungalows. and nobody really wanted to live here because all these houses were tiny. This is one that just got refabbed, that rehabbed. But further you go into this little neighborhood, you'll see that these houses are super tiny. See, little bungalow. They've just redone the facing of it. Another one. These are the common houses in this area. And then they started putting in these right next to them. So you've got this sort of crossover. Little bungalow, 1,500 square feet compared to 3,000 square feet. Massive, massive changeover in this whole neighborhood, and constantly building these. These are the people that are moving into the neighborhood, and they're complaining because these folks have been living here forever since PDK was built. These people move in, they go, oh, I have an airport next door to me. Why would I want to buy $1 million home and have an airport next to me? Because this neighborhood is growing, and it's been doing so for quite some time. Like, I wonder if they still have these duplexes up here, because there used to be duplexes up this way. So all of this area around here, yeah, see, house gone for wooded areas. I mean, it's like such a vast changeover. So you got these little bitty bungalows, and right across the street you've got a McMansion. Insane. Like, these houses are $1 million homes now. These houses over here, people are selling them for a lot of money. And these are the folks that are complaining about PDK. It's not the ones that have been here forever in these neighborhoods, these little bitty bungalows all lining the area. I mean, I don't think you can get one of these little bungalows for under 600,000 now at all. You'd be lucky if you could. And there's also a U.S. gypsum plant in that area. No, gypsum, the stuff that they use. Isn't it called gentrification? Um, they call it something. I don't know. I call it I don't care. I always liked that neighborhood. I used to walk my dogs in that neighborhood. It's it's a pretty cool little section of Atlanta that's pretty chill. Like, you saw people out there walking their dogs and stuff like that down the middle of the street because there's not a whole lot of traffic that goes through there because there's no easy way to get through that neighborhood. Like, you can get lost in that neighborhood. My wife and I, whenever we were first dating, we used to go for long walks in that whole area, and just check out the whole place. It was awesome, beautiful. All the neighbors were nice, polite, and outside of the little bit of noise, air pollution, no biggie. No biggie. But researchers find a number of plastic particles in bottled water. So, switching gears, of course. I don't care, but why would I want to hear news? I don't want to hear the news. So here you go. This is, of course, brought to you by NPR. Researchers find massive number of plastic particles in bottled water. Researchers from Columbia University and Rutgers University roughly found 2,400 detectable plastic fragments in a typical liter of bottled water. So I wonder where that research comes from. Like, seriously. Every time I see these little researches come up, I always question who funds them. Like, wouldn't it just be easier to do it in glass? Glass is easier to recycle. I always thought glass was pretty easy to recycle. I mean, I'm an idiot. I don't know. Microscopic pieces of plastic are everywhere. Now they've been found in bottled water. concentrations 10 to 100 times more than previously estimated. So that makes you wonder, how much was in there before? How much plastic was in there before? Hmm. So that means they've known there was plastic particles in the water. Hey Jude. Hey Jude. Researchers from Columbia University and Rutgers University found roughly 2,400 240,000 detectable plastic fragments in a typical liter of bottled water. The study was published Monday in the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences. Okay, so let's find out about the PNAS. So, what is PNAS? Okay. What is PNAS? PNAS. PNAS. A tiny fraction of all species forms most of nature. Rarity as a sticky state. PNAS is one of the world's most cited and comprehensive multidisciplinary scientific journals. So, what is PNAS? Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, a peer-reviewed journal of the National Academy of Sciences, an authoritative source of high-impact original research that broadly spans the biological, physical, and social sciences. The journal is global in scope and submission is open to all researchers worldwide. So I'm just trying to understand where these folks are coming from. Hey, Christine, you have a well and filter. Well, and see, here's where people would get really upset about, thinking about you having a well and a filter. Serious. This is where people get upset. Well, the chemicals that's in the ground that is getting into your body. Oh my gosh. The amount of uh, diseases that you could get from this. All the things that they would come up with. They would have a reason for you not being able to drink your own well water. Serious. They do not want you to be self-sufficient. So if New York City had its way, you wouldn't be allowed to own your property. That's how they are. So I was just looking up what PNAS is and what they talk about. And they're basically here, I'll show you some of their writings because it's pretty interesting. Frailty and survival in the 1918 influenza pandemic. And that's what they talk about. It's like during the flu, the estimated hazards for individuals with periosteal lesions that were active at the time of death were over 2 times higher compared to the control group. But it was 1918. Now they don't have that kind of issue. Oh, okay. You have to go. Oh, excellent, Jude. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again very, very soon, Jude. Yeah. Anyhow, so here we go. I don't care. About 10% of the detected plastic particles were microplastics. Another 90% were nanoplastics. Microplastics are between 5 millimeters to 1 micrometer. Those are big pieces. 5 millimeters is not a small piece. Nanoplastic particles are less than 1 micrometer in size. For context, human hair is about 70 micrometers thick. Microplastics have been found in people's lungs, their excrement, their blood, in placentas, among other places. 2018 study found an average of 325 pieces of microplastics in a liter of bottled water. And remember, microplastics are between 5 millimeters to 1 micrometer. A human hair is 70 micrometers thick. So imagine 325 pieces of microplastics in bottled water. my favorite food. Microplastics can be a favorite food. So they've been found in people's lungs, their excrement, their blood, and placentas, among other places. But that was in 2018. Hmm. So should we be eating microplastics? It says nanoplastics could be even more dangerous than microplastics because when inside the human body, the smaller it goes, the easier for it to be misidentified as the natural component of the cell. That sounds weird. That's scary. Makes you never want to drink out of or eat any sort of thing out of plastic ever again. I wonder why they would be talking about this. What is plastic made out of? Plastic is made out of oil. Hmm, that's interesting. They researched for 7 common types of plastic using the system, which is polyamide 66, propylene, proethylene, polymethyl, polyvinyl, polystyrene, polyethylene. Okay, so polys, of course, plastics. And some of those come from plastic pipes. Plastic water bottles would be only one thing. They tested 3 brands of bottled water. They did not identify the brands. So some of these plastics may not be coming from the bottle themselves, but may be coming from the process of getting the water into the bottles, like, through whatever pipe system that they're using. So maybe it's not the plastic bottles. Maybe it's no different than getting a particle of rust. You know, maybe they need to filter it better before it goes into the bottle. That's what I would think, that it's in the water itself and not coming out of the bottle. Researchers hypothesized that some of the plastics in the bottled water could be shedding from, ironically enough, the plastic used in types of water filters. Wow. Isn't that weird? And then I just say that, and I am not even a scientist. Damn, I'm on top of my game today. And I didn't have to pay anybody millions of dollars to figure this out or hypothesize. Dude, isn't that amazing? You should be hiring me to hypothesize on shit for you, because I can do that all fucking day long. I can hypothesize on shit and probably be, come out have a better outcome. Phoebe Stapleton, another study or co-author, who's professor of pharmacology and toxicology. So basically they have a degree. You paid for your degree? Me, I got mine off the internet. But if you can't quantify them or can't make a visual of them, it's hard to believe that they're actually there. I don't know. I get a chunk of plastic that's 5 millimeters in my throat. I'm going to know that it's there. The significance of their group's research is it now brings that to light, and not only provides what is a computer generated image. Who gives a shit? But it also allows for the quantification, even more importantly, the chemistry of that quantification. Okay. And of course, goats and soda. That's going to be an interesting one. We'll read that. They hope the research will lead to having a better understanding of how much plastic humans are regularly putting into their bodies and its effects. Okay. Jan says they plan future research in employing the same technology to look at plastic particles in tap water, in the air, in food, and I thought that said in human testes. It's tissues. Sorry. This is basically just open a window for us to see what was this invisible world before. Okay. About 80% of plastic ends up in landfills or the environment. Okay. 80%. You say 80% of plastic ends up in landfills or the environment. Now, let's really think about this. Is it plastic water bottles that are ending up in landfills? Or do you think maybe it's trash bags that end up in landfills? I mean, Landfills are pretty much comprised of what? Trash. So what do you put trash in? Put trash in a trash bag. Maybe that plastic trash bag that you've been using to sort of keep it from like saturating out, because I don't know too many people that use paper trash bags. I mean, that would sort of seem like evident. Maybe do some, composting. Oh wait, you can't do composting. Ah, it sucks so bad. You can't do composting. Because plastic keeps, it sort of bonds really well, so things don't leak out of it. Like you use it to hold back water. Speaking of which, use it to hold back water. Use it to use plastics for carpeting, because yeah, you don't make carpet out of cloth. I mean, it's partial cloth, but I cannot imagine a cotton carpet. First time you get water on it, your carpet shrink. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. What do we use plastic in? Well, just about everything. Seriously, think about this for just 1 second. Go get as you get into your car, this morning, and you're getting ready to head out. You know, whenever you made your coffee and you put it in that nice, wonderful coffee container, how much plastic is there? I mean, think about it. How much plastic is in that coffee maker that you made for your coffee cup? Maybe you have a coffee cup, but it has one of those plastic lids, or maybe you stop to get off your coffee. Stop to get your coffee. It's got some sort of styrofoam, which is plastic. It's a poly. It's just a different form of plastic to help keep your hands from getting freaking burned. And then you got the plastic lid, of course, so it doesn't splash all over the place as you're driving madly to get to work, swerving and bobbing and weaving and throwing things and cussing people out and having all this road rage and that kind of crap. Yeah, absolutely. Have very little trash, compost, recycle, and burn. But cities can't do this. They can't. They have no place to compost it, so it goes into a landfill. And you can't empty in all your wet, slimy, gross trash, all smelly and everything into your plastic garbage bin that the garbage truck comes and picks up. Your plastic garbage bin, by the way, that they come and pick up, that they dump all that stuff in there. Drink your caffeinated microplastics. Love you. I'll see you later. Good job, Nikki. Good for you. So you end up with all of this. You get in your car, you look in, and you look around, and you'll see you have all of these plastic parts. More than likely, your seat is some sort of fake leather. And even if it's not fake leather, on the inside of that nice little cushion is made out of foam. You've got, which that foam, like I said, is plastic. It's just produced a little bit differently, but still melts the same way as plastic. Your gear shift knob probably has plastic. Steering wheel, plastic. Your airbag has plastic. Your seatbelt, plastic. The clip for the seatbelt, things that roll up and down your windows. Uh, your tires, plastic. Yes, there's plastics in there. They're all microplastics. Um, your sunroof, the seals on your car, the bushings for your shocks, your ball joint covers, all plastic. They tried making them out of paper, but that didn't work very well. Um, so all of these little plastic, rubber, all this stuff. Well, they call it rubber, but it's not. It's just plastics, more flexible plastics. All of those plastics. Oh my God. I can look around my room right now and see tons of plastic. Well, that's also because I have a 3D printer that prints plastic. I mean, it's amazing how that works. All the knobs on my instruments are plastic. Yeah. My catgut strings, they call it catgut, but they're just made out of plastic. All that stuff. Drill, baby, drill. Even fizzy drinks have thin plastic lining. Absolutely. You can recycle plastic store bags by using them to make waterproof grocery bags. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But they still break down. Like people think that these things don't break down, but they absolutely do break down. All things break down. And also they don't make they don't make those grocery bags in most places. Like you're gonna have a hard time finding a paper bag. There's you really have a hard time finding them anymore. And then you end up with more microplastics. But let's look at this one. That's not what I wanted to look at. So this is pretty cool. Goats and soda. Goats and soda. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can share it right here. Yeah, should have tap instead. So here it is. Goats and soda. Stories of life in a changing world. Why there's a storm brewing about global food aid from the US. January 9th, 2024. Dun dun dun. It says workers for the Catholic Relief Service in Haiti got a stomach turning surprise when they swung open doors of some 20-foot long shipping containers. Insects had infested thousands of bags of food. None of the sorghum or milled corn and soybeans donated by the U.S. government was fit for human consumption. Well, no shit. I may have cried. In all, she says about 310 metric tons of food was lost in this 2022 incident. That was last year. Jesus. The culprit seemed obvious because of ongoing chaos in Haiti. Those containers have been sitting in the country's port for a week. Well, that right there is Haiti's fault. You make denim grocery bags. Well, we have my wife and I. We have uh, a an indoor outdoor carpet. I mean, you can use it outdoors. It looks like cloth, feels like cloth. It was made from recycled plastic. It works great. Cleans up really well. I can go out there and hose it down with a pressure washer and doesn't hurt it at all. Whenever it breaks down, guess what? It'll end up in a landfill. Amazing how that works. Question raised about U.S. food aid. Nutrition and public health researcher at the Washington University in St. Louis. It's Washington University. That's weird. Saw a deeper cause. Ianodi has worked in Haiti for decades, says the episode illustrates persistent problems with U.S. food aid. It's this facade of doing good while also serving less altruistic goal, putting cash in the pockets of U.S. farmers by buying their grain and shipping it abroad. So is that true? Is that what you think it is? Oh, if that was the case, then all these U.S. farmers need to, stop selling their food. Organizations in Haiti have previously quit. This is a Haiti issue, not a U.S. farmers issue. If it's been sitting in a port in Haiti forever, that then maybe Haiti needs to get their head out of their ass and get it to where it needs to go. Organizations in Haiti had previously questioned the wisdom of shipping U.S. grown food there. They said the country had limited capacity to store imported grain. Well, then don't accept it. I feared the imports would actually discourage local food production. Well, there you go. They proposed, but it isn't allowed under the rules that govern U.S. food aid for non emergency situations. Well, what does that have to do with Haiti? In addition, the U.S. often sends commodities that American farmers want to sell, not foods that Haitians need most. Cornmeal and sorghum, for instance, hardly constitute a healthy diet. Okay. So what is it? You want the food or you don't want the food? I don't understand. I'm so confused whether Haitians want food or need it. Criticisms lie at the heart of a fresh debate on Capitol Hill over the rules governing Americans' international food aid programs. Well, then hear about that. How about this? We stop sending food to other places. I'm all for it. Stop sending food. No more food sent to Haiti. Fuck you, Haiti. Survive on your own. No more food sent to Ukraine. No more funds sent to Ukraine. Just fuck you, starve. Like, screw you. Eat your own. Screw Haiti has always been a shithole. Exactly. Good to see you, Yamaha. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I mean, if you don't want the fucking food, then don't take the goddamn food. We'll stop sending it. How's that? You can just piss off on it. Have fun with your broke ass country that can't appreciate some rotted sorghum and mealy cornmeal. If you don't like it, then who gives a shit? We'll stop sending it to you. How about this? We can go feed all of the homeless children in California for the shit that we would send to you. We'll stop sending it abroad and start feeding our own people. Maybe even lower our food prices. Wouldn't that be fucking wonderful? I'm all for this idea. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. Oh, back scratchers are glorious. Just so you know, at this time of the morning, having a back scratcher is glorious. Oh, yes, 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 yes. It's almost as good as an orgasm. Getting your back scratched with a back scratcher. Yes. No. I mean, call me crazy or something, but it makes sense to me that we could lower our own food prices by having more of it here and not sending it all. So Congress is about to rewrite some of those rules as it does every 5 years when renewing a law called the Farm Bill. It's reviving tensions between international development organizations. What in the fuck do they mean by international development organization? I don't understand that. What is an international development organization? So I'm curious. International Development Organization. Uh, let's see. What does it do? Drives progress to build a freer, more equitable. Oh, okay, that's why they're those kind of people. And U.S. agricultural groups, or whether that aid should be purchased from American farmers and shipped abroad. Okay, well, don't. Here's the thing. Here's this. This is all that you need to know. This is all that you need to know about these people right here. USA drives progress to build a freer, more equitable, and humane world. This year, in the face of daunting challenges like global food insecurity, the climate crisis, and increasing conflict, USAID and its partners in more than 100 countries around the globe drove progress to a freer, more equitable, and more humane world. Responding to humanitarian crises, earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, Gaza, Sudan, South Caucasus, life-saving humanitarian aids, proving democracy delivers. There you go. It's telling you all that you need to know. Drawing in 100 million from private sector and philanthropic partners. Okay. So what is it? Democracy Delivers Initiative. What is this Democracy Delivers Initiative? Wow. Let's see. Democracy Delivers Initiative. Stronger, more resilient economies deliver better opportunities for citizens and outcomes for communities. They deliver freer, more inclusive, more just societies. But democracies are also under attack internally by divisive forces, externally by autocrats spreading disinformation, weaponizing corruption, and amassing power for their own ends. So when a country experiences a promising democratic opening, when there's an opportunity to enact democratic reforms, strengthen transparency, rule of law, advance human rights and development, deliver economic dividends, we need to help governments, civil society, and citizens seize the moment. So that's what these people are all about. So let's go back to this. That's what these international development organizations and U.S. agricultural groups over whether that aid should be purchased from American farmers and shipped abroad. Like I said, stop sending them shit. Make sure you're having the right orgasms. What you're saying, back scratches are better than orgasms? That's what I'm saying. Good morning, Puffer P. Wonderful to see you. Yeah, many go hungry here. Absolutely. So, coming up with different ways to provide food. Over the past 2 decades, development experts have persuaded Congress to allow food to be delivered in a new and more flexible ways. The U.S. Agency for International Development has begun buying food at foreign markets close to where it is needed. It sounds good to me. It also distributes aid in the form of cash and vouchers. Why? If you're giving shit away, then why would you need to have cash or vouchers? These market based pathways can deliver food more quickly, often more cheaply. About 60% of U.S. international food aid is now handled this way. Okay. Yet non emergency aid, such as Haiti, still has to be delivered in the form of commodities that are grown by American farmers. Much of it by law, also has to be shipped on vessels that are registered in the U.S. and owned by U.S. companies. There's a limited supply of such ship, and a U.S. aid official told Congress last year this adds to about 25% to the cost of shipping. I mean, yeah, there's this thing that people have been trying here in the U.S. Red flag number one: we are not a democracy, so they can kiss my ass. Exactly. The Biden administration, supported by some aid organizations, is now asking Congress to drop some of these restrictions on non-emergency aid. So, what are these aid organizations? Well, let's find out what some of these aid organizations are. Oh, look, it takes us to the background and information on talking points for the Farm Bill of 2023 reauthorization. And it's done by the Catholic Relief Services Faith Action Results. Let's see if they've got anything interesting here. Okay, not seeing anything. Bunch of LARPers. I'm not seeing anything. So here's what the ask is. Okay, share this tab instead. Here's their ask. Okay, reauthorize life-saving hunger reducing international programs, such as specifically Food for Peace. Title II, McGovern Dole Food for Education, Farmer to Farmer, and Food for Progress, increasing flexibility for non-emergency. Title II, Food for Peace Development Program. See, there's so much in here. Increasing amount of funding set aside for local and regional procurement within the McGovern Dole Food for Education program, enabling programming better supports local farmers regionally within communities. So basically, they want to take local farmers and stop supporting them. How does the senator representative plan approach the international food aid development programs? What can I do as a constituent to continue to advance these important issues with senator representative? Comments to raise. If the senator travels abroad, if they would like to visit CRS programming in the future. CRS is more than 100 countries. Let your senator representative know that along with the CRS, it can serve a resource both Washington, D.C. and back home in their states and district. So basically, give us money. That's what it screams to me. That's all it screams to me. And it's now asking Congress to drop some of these restrictions. So American farm groups and shipping companies, however, are fighting back, mounting a campaign to put food back in food aid. Well, exactly. Hey, how's it going, Jamie? Good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. So they are focusing on one major program called Food for Peace, which is part of the Farm Bill. Food for Peace has been successful historically because it supports and involves U.S. farmers and has tremendous political support. Director of Trade for Policy for U.S. Wheat Association, which represents wheat farmers. We think this program can and should be working very well for U.S. farmers, and here's a way to do that. New bill could bring changes. American Farmers Feed the World Act proposal would prevent Food for Peace from using any of its roughly $2 billion budget to buy food abroad or distribute cash and vouchers. The bill would also shift control of some parts of Food for Peace. Yeah, what's the point of raising money if you're just going to give it away? I don't understand. We see that program buying from major exporters that compete with U.S. farmers has been very, very frustrating. Yes, because why would you? Why would you raise money for people to do other things outside of the US? I mean, how about this? They raise their own money and we can support them with it. Sounds good to me. Other than that, I say fuck all of them. Like, raise your own damn money. We'll see. My dog's running across the house, barking like a madman. Probably someone was walking on the sidewalk, and well, that's not allowed in my neighborhood because we must kill whoever does that. So how does that help out us? Well, I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point in time, but that won't be today because I've got no real no real concern which way or the other that happens. I mean, you would hope that our world gets much nicer and kinder towards people as we go on through this spinning ball of idiocy, which that's what it is, a spinning ball of idiocy. It gets more and more political as time goes on, and maybe it's just because I've become more used to it. I don't know. I don't know. Gotten more used to the politics of everything. But that's us. We have wonderful days, we have beautiful days, and me, I'm gonna send all you fine folks over to hang out with T3. She's streaming today. She's good people. If you haven't checked out T3 stuff, give her a big thumbs up. Show her a little bit of love. Uh, she's she's got her own show that she does, and that's where I'm going to be sending all you fine folks as soon as I shut this thing down. And I hope that you can join me tomorrow, and I hope that I can do this tomorrow. And I'm sort of running this on a shoestring budget. Your dog has the same, but outside she loves all she meets. Yeah, ours are little assholes. Serious, they're little assholes. Um, especially the bigger dogs. Yes, and I shall have a great day, everyone. On that, I am going to kick this thing off, and everybody, you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll have a new stream set up for tonight. Um, with Jessica Reloaded. I just need to reach out and touch her in the most kind and gentle way, because we're going to be doing one or two things. Normally, we were doing the depth stuff, but there's a possibility we may be doing more of the Epstein stuff that we were talking about before, and those tend to be a little bit more disturbing, and our voices can only hold out for so long. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you got your notification bell turned on. If you don't have it turned on, then turn the damn thing on. Hit that like button on your way out. Hit your like button on the way in to Shelly's, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. See you guys tonight. Peace.